Senator
Cruz.
Duckworth.
So I'm going to avoid the partisan baiting and instead compliment our chairman for how well he worked with the ranking member last year when we, in this committee, near unanimously passed the FAA Reauthorization Act and what it has done for this country. My question line is for Mr. McCormack. In the first half of this year alone, airlines reported mishandling over 4,600 wheelchairs and scooters. And I've said it time and again, even before I passed legislation requiring such reporting in 2018, that damaging or breaking someone's wheelchair is like breaking their legs. When you break my wheelchair on a flight and you give me a substitute airline wheelchair, you've taken away my legs. I can't push that airline wheelchair by myself. Someone has to push me into the bathroom. If they don't put me in the right place, I can't get to the toilet. I can't do anything. So imagine if we broke over 1% of airline passengers' legs on an annual basis. It would rightfully be a national scandal, and yet it is not when it comes to medical devices. It would dominate headlines across the country because such negligence would be outrageous and inexcusable. And yet, for wheelchair users, such a nightmare scenario is not some outlandish hypothetical. It is our reality. It's a credible fear we confront every damn time we fly. Airlines have had decades to get their act together, and they failed to change. That's why those of us in the disability community celebrated the promulgation last year of the groundbreaking and long overdue wheelchair rule. This rule implements critical provisions under the bipartisan FAA Reauthorization Act that our chairman was part of the team that led that effort in 2024 to help ensure passengers who use wheelchairs can travel safely and with dignity. This rulemaking represented the United States government finally taking meaningful action to tell the airlines enough is enough. And that's why I am really angry that President Trump and Secretary Duffy allowed the airlines to bully them into submission and retreat on enforcing the wheelchair rule. Look, I get why no air carrier wants to be held accountable for mishandling wheelchairs or forced to invest in regular training for their employees, or customers who are empowered to book or rebook flights on aircraft that can accommodate their wheelchairs. I understand why airlines would not want any of that to happen. And airlines are doing what they've done for decades. What's inexcusable is the Trump administration's weakness and Secretary Duffy's apparently willingness to let corporate lobbyists rewrite the wheelchair rule to their liking. Mr. McCormack, you have been serving as Deputy Chief of Staff with oversight over the department's policy, a responsibility that you will continue to have if confirmed as Undersecretary. Yes or no? Did you meet with passengers who use wheelchairs and other assistive devices to hear firsthand the horrors they've had to deal with when airlines effectively broke their legs and then dragged their feet on paying for timely repairs of those devices?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I've not met with any of the disability rights advocates, but they have had meetings within the department. No one's ever reached out to me for a meeting along those lines. And
nobody has reached out to you. Okay.
That's a fact.
Let me ask you this. Did you speak with any airline lobbyists prior to Secretary Duffy's decision to wave the white flag when it came to defending and enforcing the 2024 wheelchair rules?
Senator,
have you met with any airline lobbyists?
I've never met with any airlines on any aviation consumer protection issues.
So you've not met with any airline lobbyists on this rule?
That is correct.
Very interesting. So the Trump administration claims to operate from a position of strength, and yet Secretary Duffy is letting the airlines bully him into submission when it comes to defending the civil rights and dignity of passengers with wheelchairs. Passengers with disabilities can't afford for the Trump administration to screw them over by wasting precious time in refusing to defend and enforce the 2024 rule, and even worse, rewriting it. So if you've not met with any of the airline lobbyists and you've not met with any people with disabilities, why did you choose to suspend this rule?
Again, Senator, and thank you for the ability to clarify that. I mean, I've not worked on any of the aviation consumer protection issues. I'm not in charge of all policy of the department. If confirmed, that would be a significant part of my role. It is not in my role as Deputy Chief of Staff. And so again, it did come up in the minority staff interview that this is a significant concern of the committee staff as well as members of the committee, but it has not been part of my job to date.
So you had nothing to do with it, but you will have something to do with it in the future? Should you be confirmed? Is that your position?
Should I be confirmed? I would have more ability in the rulemaking space. I have not had any firsthand implications or on this.
Should you be confirmed? Will you meet with me Will you meet with disability advocates? And will you meet with everyday ordinary Americans who use assistive devices when they're traveling?
Senator, I would love to work with you and your staff on the specific issue. As I mentioned, I know that people in the department have been meeting with disability rights advocates as they've reached out for
Okay,
meetings.
you're not answering my question. Will you meet with me? And I will bring disability advocates and I will bring people in wheelchairs to come talk to you. Will you meet with us to talk about this
I'm
rule?
happy to.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.